wanted to invite the audience into the body and the eyes of a Black boy during the Jim Crow South. Where someone looks or doesn't look quite literally can be the difference between life and death. There are so many ways that language gets in the way between actually communicating. And I don't think that images are perfect, but I think images can sometimes just get to a more honest place. The more I kind of push myself to be a more compassionate human in the world, the better the images. I told my parents at age 7 that I wanted to be a filmmaker. You know, bless my 2 immigrant parents who were both scientists, had done no art. They're like, okay, cool. I remember when I first saw the movie In the Mood for Love, honestly 20 minutes in, I just stopped reading subtitles because I was just so engrossed by the images. And there was just something almost magical to me where I came into the theater totally neutral, totally blank, and I left with this deep emotional kind of residue. I was just like, I need to do this. I need to do this.
I don't know what more you want me to remember.
The entire movie was from the point of view of the 2 characters in the movie. It then became a question of, okay, well, what's an establishing shot? What's a cut? What's a transition? What's an insert shot? So all of a sudden, it's like taking traditional film language and breaking it down and then rebuilding it. I like to talk to directors almost fully emotionally. Tell me what you want this image to feel like. Do they look down at your shoes? Do they look at the couple that's passing you on the sidewalk? And although we had a meticulous shot list where we wrote down every single way the gaze goes on every single shot, it was still fundamentally asking these more core questions. I love doing camera test early. And I love shooting that camera test and then sitting in a theater with the director and quite literally just look at the screen and raise your hand if you feel an emotion. I remember for this one, my Panavision rep there, Stephen Kroll, came in and he was like, you should maybe take a look at these VAs. They're still prototypes, but it might be something you like. I threw them on and I just kind of, I'd never seen lenses quite like the VAs. And I think the VAs gave us a sense of spaced wonderment. For example, at the beginning of the movies when Elwood is a young boy, you're shooting a child. So you're short and you're looking up. But it's not just that. It's that you are small relative to the world around you. So when your grandmother has a bed sheet above you, that sheet should feel so big it can envelop the world. RaMell is, again, a visual artist and a photographer. I sent him a few stills of the test. I wrote him, I was like, what do you think about these? And he just wrote back, oh my God. And I was like, all right, great. I guess we're locked in here. RaMell and I had designed every scene as a oneer. We knew that we were gonna cut, but we weren't after mimicking sight. We were after trying to create an image that feels like sight. You know, if I was trying to shoot an image that reflects how we as humans see, it's like, okay, a Steadicam becomes a great option. We stabilize images when we walk through the world. Steadicam also does that, but then all of a sudden, that image felt ghostly, it felt detached, and it was always an important thing for RaMell and I to have an image that felt present tense, it felt tied into a body with real stakes. All of a sudden, strangely, things like handheld became a little bit more visceral, a little bit more in the body, even though that does not match how we as humans move through space. We used the Mini Libra and we would do it in mimic mode. I could be in another room and be doing handheld and I could look down on my body and the camera would look down on the actor's body. We did body rigs that we had to build and kind of custom made for the actors. There were helmet rigs. We built an industrial easy rig for the moments where it had to come from the neck or the head. Every viewer in the audience is hyper literate in what it feels like to see the world through their bodies. We do it every day. It can be the difference between a centimeter of a shot feeling uncanny and a shot feeling immersive. The SnoriCam was one of the things we tested, and when we saw it in the theater, you know, we both raised our hands of like, we're feeling something like seeing 2 people hug in a SnoriCam and seeing the image shake to the vibrations of that hug. Like, that was something we had never really seen before, and it really evoked an emotion in us. I want every image that I make on a movie to be fundamentally bespoke. I'm kind of trying to build an image totally organically and letting it grow out of the soil of the script rather than me coming to a script saying, oh, I think we should do this lens or this idea. Every image I make should ask a question. And the next image should answer that question by asking another question. And I think the cool thing about images is what they can set you up to think about. Any image I make is a finding. It's an unearthing, it's an attempt at an answer, but it's never an answer. What we're searching for isn't something that's pretty, but ideally what we're searching for is something that feels evocative. And I think that if it's evocative, it feels human, and I think if it feels human, it's beautiful.